This video contains descriptive video service for use by the blind or visually impaired.
In this video, you will learn tips for building an effective relationship with your legislators.
The views expressed in this training video do not reflect the views of the Governor's Council on Disability and Paraquad or their staff. The scenarios in this video are meant to demonstrate the incorrect and correct way to communicate with legislators.
Building a relationship with your legislators is part preparation and part sharing your personal story. Research and become as knowledgeable as you can on an issue before meeting with your legislator. It is okay to tell them if you don't have all the answers to their questions, but you should also let them know that you are willing to find the answers. Sharing how a piece of legislation directly impacts you, your clientele, or organization is also important. Here is a demonstration of a visit with a legislator when an individual is not prepared.
This scene opens with a legislator at her desk in a private office, seated across from a visually impaired constituent. The constituent is seated in a wheelchair. The legislator smiles and maintains eye contact with the constituent for the duration of their meeting. Their dialogue is as follows.
Hi, I'm here to talk to you about Medicaid today.
So is there something specific that you want me to do?
Well, I think you need to support it. I think it's really important to people, and so I think you need to get in there and tell all your colleagues to do the same thing.
So do you have some information that you can give me on like number of people with disabilities that use Medicaid? How much does it cost? What is the difference really for people in their lives when they're able to access the program?
Well, I don't know. It's something like maybe in your district, maybe like 1,000 people.
Okay, so you're not really sure the impact that it has on people and how many and what does it cost or?
No, because obviously you're not listening.
Okay, well, I want to make the best decision I can for my constituents, so maybe at a later time you can send me an email or send me some additional information and some stories.
Maybe. I'll see what I can do. No promises.
Okay, I'd really appreciate it. Well, thank you for your time.
The next montage briefly displays the constituent accessing the Missouri Senate website via a smartphone, researching legislators' committee associations, as well as sharing information with a legislator's office staff, and calling to set an appointment time to speak with the legislator. The visually impaired constituent is also shown in the Capitol building with her service dog, traveling to the House floor. At the door to the House chamber, the following signage is seen: a no smoking sign, and a placard on the wall to the left of the House chamber door that reads, House of Representatives, admittance with House permission only. Please be respectful of House proceedings. No smoking, food, beverages, cameras, or cell phones allowed.
It is important to research which committees a legislator serves on before meeting with them. Even if your home district legislator does not serve on the committee of the proposed legislation, it is still good to meet with them. You can also visit with the other legislators that serve on the committee so they can hear how the legislation impacts you. You should call a few days in advance to set up an appointment with your legislator. Keep in mind that if you visit the Capitol, the legislator will oftentimes be in session. If the legislator is on the floor, you can go to the House chamber and ask the doorman to pull the legislator from the floor so you can speak with them. If they leave the floor to meet with you, they may only be available for a few minutes, so it's important to be prepared. Remember to be courteous and professional with legislators, even if they do not agree with your position. Here is a demonstration of a visit with a legislator when an individual is prepared.
This scene opens with the legislator at her desk in a private office, seated across from a visually impaired constituent. The constituent is seated in a wheelchair. The meeting begins with a handshake. Again, the legislator smiles and maintains eye contact with the constituent for the duration of their meeting. The constituent is shown providing the legislator with paper copies of her information. Their dialogue is as follows.
Hi, I'm Representative Brown. I'm so glad you could come to see me today.
I'm Lara Muth. I'm from Jefferson City, and I'm here today to talk to you about the importance of Medicaid.
Okay.
It's really important for people with disabilities in the state of Missouri. A lot of people use it to be able to go to the doctor, and they wouldn't be able to maintain their health if they didn't have it. I know for me personally, that's the issue, as well as many of the people I work with.
Well, that's wonderful. Do you have some information about like how many people with disabilities you think access Medicaid in our district and you kind of the impact it has on people?
Sure. You know, I put together some, I'd be happy to send it to you. But here's just a line of stuff I already told you, so you can kind of run through it, and I'll give a copy to your aide as well.
Great. And your contact information is here?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. And I'll make sure and get you that information.
Thanks so much for coming today.
Welcome.
Building a relationship with the legislative aides is important too. Oftentimes, they can get your message to the legislators or rearrange the legislator's schedule so you can meet with them. If the legislator is unavailable, you can also leave a written statement and contact information with the legislative aide. Building an effective relationship with legislators is an ongoing process and can continue outside the Capitol in your home district. This concludes the video on building an effective relationship with your legislators.